All right, welcome back, everybody. Max here. I'm interviewing the best Godzilla YouTuber out there. His name is D-Man. How you doing today, D-Man?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Good, good. I'm happy to have you on my podcast. I've had a lot of cool people here, but no one as unique as you. So it's like, I want you to tell me, what is it that you do?
Basically, I just obsess over giant monsters all day, and I just talk about Godzilla and all of his friends nonstop.
That's awesome, but it sounds like we got this intro backwards because I think this is actually your podcast.
Are you sure?
Yes, let's try this again.
It's rewind time.
Okay. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new podcast. I usually say video, but this one's a podcast. So welcome to a brand new video cast. And today we are going to be doing another video/interview with the legendary creature actor, Alan Maxson.
Woo! Boo! Hey, who's booing over there?
It's Richard. Don't pay any attention to him.
Richard. Left head Kevin, man.
See, we're doing the audio thing. You can't even see. I'm wearing your shirt right now. I'm wearing the Kevin shirt.
If you could see in my audio, I have Zira, my cat, on me right now.
Oh, nice.
She's cleaning me. Yes.
Okay.
She thinks that I need a good old cleaning.
I can't let my animals in because they will ruin the recording.
How many animals do you have?
I got a bird, a snake, a cat, and a dog.
That's awesome. Do they all get along?
The cat and the dog don't even notice each other. The cat hates the bird, always trying to kill him, and the cat's terrified of the snake. And the dog just doesn't pay any attention to anything.
That sounds like stereotypical all of them.
Yeah, that's pretty right. Yeah.
That's funny. That is the animal kingdom at its finest, right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm glad all your listeners have now heard about all of our animals. Everyone, leave comments of what animals you live with.
Yeah.
And your brother and sister do not count.
Oh, shoot. I guess I have to knock two off my list.
Oh, but yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm super excited. This is cool.
That's always fun. All right, so if I understand this correct, you have a short film that you worked on. Could you introduce that to us?
Yes. So I actually wrote, directed, produced, edited, and starred in a 10-minute short film called Patina. And Patina is about a guy who brings home a 6-foot-tall robot into his house, and the robot is supposed to perform tasks and do whatever you ask of it. But his girlfriend, rightly so, gets a very eerie, unsettling vibe from the robot and doesn't really want anything to do with it. But yet, he takes a liking to her, and the torture and intensity of his attachment to her ensues throughout these 10 minutes until we get to a very climactic, what I think is awesome ending. But we actually have an outsider view's opinion here because you've got a sneak peek at it. You've seen it.
I have. Yes, me and my brother sat down and watched it together.
Awesome. And what do you guys think? And it's okay if you don't like it. I want to know everything.
No, we thought it was great. I'm pretty twisted, so the whole time, we're just rooting for Patina to go off and start killing everybody. So the whole time we're like, come on, I loved it. I think it's great. Horror is just my favorite genre in general. So I love that. And then
this movie it's really, I wouldn't even put it horror. I would almost say it's like sci-fi.
I was gonna say it's kind of like a suspense, because you're waiting, you're being teased the whole time,
it's a tension.
Yeah. So I don't know, I thought it was great.
Thank you. How would you describe this to the audience without giving away the spoiler ending? Because there really is there's one big moment at the end that really is the twist. Other than spoiling that, how would you describe it?
It's almost like a cautionary tale about AI, in a sense.
Absolutely.
It's funny because the more you think about it, the more you realize, it's kind of more intellectual than at first you might give it credit for. Because when you first watch, you're like, oh, it's a little short, a suspenseful little short film. And then you think about it and you're like, oh, it's getting pretty real though in the real world.
There's a lot of underlying tones in it too. A lot of things that, like you said, are cautionary.
Right.
And I also would like to point out, it's almost like 4D, because if you watch this on speakers and not on headphones, anyone who has an Alexa, your Alexa goes off at least 4 times during this 10 minutes.
Does it really? I don't have an Alexa, so I didn't.
Yeah. For those of you that do have it, it goes off. It's listening.
That's so weird. It's like in videos, like whenever someone announces like, "Hey Siri," and then everyone's Siri's goes off. Like, what was that? South Park did that. They did like a whole tease where they like kept calling out all the different devices.
Yeah, South Park is brilliant.
Yeah.
I wrote this with almost like Tales from the Dark Side, Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt kind of a vibe. Someone recently compared it to almost like Black Mirror. I've only seen a couple episodes of Black Mirror, and one of them had to do with having sex with a pig, so I don't know how that one...
Actually, I could really picture that now. Now that you mention that, this definitely could be
having
like...
sex with a pig?
No. No. This I think would really fit into a Black Mirror. That seems like the perfect way to expand upon that, because Black Mirror, the whole premise is each episode is a cautionary tale about technology. It's like technology gone bad in some way or corrupting in some way. That's the theme of it. Like the name Black Mirror is referencing your phone. So if you look at your phone right now while it's turned off, it's the screen is a black mirror.
Clever.
Yeah.
I need to watch more episodes. The ones I watched I liked. I saw the pig one, which I don't think I could rewatch again. That one was tough to watch.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, the prime minister is like blackmailed or something, and he's got to have sex with a pig in order to like save his citizens or something crazy.
Okay.
And then the other one I saw was like a reality show where the girl, I think, was actually in prison, but she has to get out, try to escape, but it's filmed and airs live or something. So neither of those were very techy. So that's why I didn't realize that Black Mirror was all technology based.
Yeah, like there's an episode when they have like a mascot run for like a political office, and it's like just being controlled behind a screen, and like he winds up winning. And so like the mascot winds up becoming this political official. And there's another one where it's all about like social media ratings and like everybody rating each other, and then that becomes like your social rank in real life.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so there's some pretty cool ones. They also had the first like choose your own adventure movie. It's like a Netflix. Yeah, it's like a Netflix original movie through Black Mirror, and it's like a choose your own adventure.
How do you do that? Do you like select a new chapter or something?
It's so it's called Bandersnatch, and the way it's played is like you watch a scene and then it'll present you with a choice. You like get to interact and pick which choice your character goes with, and then depending on what he goes with, the story will progress in any number of ways. There's like somewhere there's like a monster that appears, and there's somewhere he like goes crazy and starts killing people. There's a whole bunch of different it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I think this actually, that is a really good comparison. This could definitely fit right in there.
That's cool. Well, I think one thing that you and I were talking about before we were recording this was why I made this film. And I guess the reason why I made this, someone asked me yesterday, they're like, why'd you make it only 10 minutes and not a whole movie? And there's a lot to that, and anyone who's in the entertainment industry knows how much money it costs to make something. And so the first movie I made was in 2016, and it's a very bad movie, but it was made with the intentions of being a bad movie. It was meant to parody itself, it's self-aware, and it was made for $1,000, which in making a movie terms, that's literally everybody worked for free.
Yeah.
I pulled all favors on that one. And the movie turned out to be exactly what we went out to make. It's bad, but it's fun, if you're with friends and you're having glasses of lemonade or anything, then it's fun to watch. But it's definitely a particular audience only. You have to like bad movies.
Right.
And then after a couple of years of that being out, I started hearing all the time, oh, you like bad movies, you know how to make bad movies, this and that. And I was like, crap.
Like you got typecast.
Yes, I was being known for, if I make a movie in the future, I only know how to make bad ones. And I was like, that's not true at all. I only did it because that was the budget and it was fun.
Right.
So I set out and I was like, I want to make an amazing, awesome movie. And so I started writing a feature-length script. And I would say about 6 months into it, I decided to make a short film that I can actually complete and finish as a proof of concept of making a good quality film, so that when I start trying to raise money for the feature, people know that they're going to get more like the good one and less like the bad one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, what can I make within my budget? Here's the price difference. Christmas with Cookie, the bad movie, was a feature-length movie. It was 60 minutes, and it was made for $1,000. Patina is a 10-minute movie, and I made that for $4,000. So that's the drastic difference, is $4,000 for 10 minutes versus $1,000 for 60, and you can see the difference.
Yeah, you can.
And so that's the thing, is I basically set out to make something awesome that can be self-contained really quickly in a short story. And then I'm going to start raising money by the end of this month. I'm going to be ready to start moving forward with getting backers, and I'm probably going to do a crowdfunding for my feature-length film. And the feature-length film is not Patina. It's a different story, but better, in my opinion. And there's no humans. It's all aliens. There's not a single human in it. There's a lot of prosthetics and makeup. And so I'm going to need to raise a lot of money. And now I'll have Patina as a proof of concept when I'm asking people if they're interested in donating. And that's the point of why I not only made Patina, but why I made it so short. Basically, I couldn't make a feature-length Patina without minimum like $30,000, you know? So that's that.
So I guess going with that, you're going from a feature-length screenplay that you're writing, and then you decide to make this short film. Where does this idea come from? What is the genesis of Patina itself, the concept for the short?
I'm so glad you asked. So I actually booked an audition to play a robot. I guess I can't say what kind of robot because they're still filming and it breaks some NDA stuff. But
yeah.
I booked an audition and I got this role, and it was for a very big director, and I was so excited. But jury duty wouldn't let me out. Literally, I lost this awesome job to this stupid jury duty, which, and in the end, it was a hung jury anyways. So it was pointless for me to be there for 5 days. It was a waste of 5 days. Boy, was I mad.
Yeah, God, that's...
And so I was watching my audition tape of me as a robot, and I was like, man, I did good. I can't let this go to waste. I'll just make the story have a robot in it.
Nice.
And so that's kind of how it started, was just simply that. And then from there, I was like, okay, what's a good story with a robot that has not been told? And I don't know if Patina is necessarily an untold original story, because it's kind of a classic cautionary tale that you could probably find many renditions in many books and movies,
right,
with not just AI, but with other things. You could probably find it in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I won't say because I don't know if it'll potentially be construed as a spoiler, but there is a certain element to it. It does remind of like some more fantastical stories that you may be like familiar with from the past. I could maybe go in a little bit more detail when we're not recording, but
no. You know what? I say go into detail because I feel like maybe it won't spoil it and it'll just entice everyone to go watch it.
Okay, it's got the element of like a genie, you know, where you always have to be careful about the way you approach the situation,
how you word your
tasks. Yeah, it's like a djinn, is that what they're called, when it's like a genie but they take liberties with what tasks you give them or something like that.
I don't know that term.
I think that's what it's called. I'm not totally sure on that, but it's like that kind of idea.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy.
But it's like updated, you know, now it's modernized, so it fits the modern world we live in.
Yes, and it's true. You know, I think there was a Dread Central article that came out a couple weeks ago, and I think I said something along the lines of there is a type of like artificial intelligence in literally almost every home, like whether it be your Alexa or your Siri, or even if you just have a smartphone, like, or even just computers nowadays are so adaptable. And I think this tale is currently happening. The only difference is the computer in your home is usually in the form of a square or rectangle.
Yeah, it doesn't have legs.
rather than, legs and arms and can smile.
Yeah.
Can I tell everybody where to watch watch the film?
Yeah,
Or go see
yes.
it?
Yeah. No, you're not allowed to. You have to keep it a secret. We just tease them.
Go find it, everybody.
It's like a
You
goose
have to,
hunt.
like,
Yeah.
get a monocle and a magnifying glass and a
Yes.
telescope.
You gotta look for it.
It's on Amazon. If you watch it on Amazon Prime, which it's currently not on Amazon Prime as we're talking physically now, but I think it will be within a day or two. So by the time
Okay.
this airs, it will be up. If you have Amazon Prime, you can stream it for free. If you don't, you can purchase or rent it for really cheap, I think like a couple bucks. But if you like it, please buy it on Blu-ray, because I know it's expensive for just a short film to get on Blu-ray, but not only is it a physical disc to keep, but I do get more money from it, and all of that money is going towards my next feature that I really think specifically this audience is really going to love. And if you want, I can even talk about a little bit of that too to entice everybody.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, so just search on Amazon Patina Alan Maxson, and it'll pop up as a Blu-ray or streaming, and just buy it and rate it and review it on Amazon, on IMDb, all that stuff. Just make sure you spread the word, because if you truly think it's something that you'd like to see me continue making more of, stories of just Alan Maxson type ideas, I guess, then please spread the word, because that's, especially in modern day, really how all this stuff gets made. It can't be made without word of mouth and people saying yay or nay. But the feature film that I want to make, have you ever seen the movie Enemy Mine?
I have not.
Or Alien Nation?
I think I've heard of it.
So these are stories. This is another story that is kind of one that is a very common undertone.
That's always the best way to do it, you know. Yeah, you start with something real and then you build.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my thought is, it's not that I'm trying to make things that are common, because really Patina, I think, is a very unique short film. It's just the afterthought is such a common sense, natural emotion for humans that it seems common. And same with this is, Enemy Mine, Alien Nation, Bright, the Will Smith movie, and there's tons of others. Basically, it's two different species that hate each other for no other reason other than they're different.
Right.
Boy, is that a tale that humans know and have known since the dawn of humanity. And so it's one of those things where it's a common, simple undertone, but it doesn't discredit it, because everyone can still relate to it. And I think really till we're gone from existence, I think humans will always relate to it, because even if far in the future, all bigotry goes away, if aliens or something new came to the world, there would be no bigotry, because then we'd be like, they're not Earthlings.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very common thing. And in this movie, there's two different species, and in the end, they may or may not learn to get along. But there's a lot of awesome side stories and fantasy and just adventure that happens throughout the story. And it's also a little bit about loved ones, like people trying to find their family, and I think you'll see that it's going to be not only fun, it'll make you think, but also it's going to be visually awesome. I have Tom Devlin on board to do the makeup for it, and he is an awesome effects artist. If you search Tom Devlin, he's done a ton of things. He's very talented, and he's a big fan of this type of movies. Like it's also kind of like the look of it will almost be like the movie that I just named, plus like The Last Starfighter or V, the original miniseries, and stuff like that. And so this is very dear to his heart too, is this type of sci-fi. But the thing, I'm doing a nice little twist with this sci-fi, is it's going to be brutally bloody, because there's a lot of unfortunate things that happen in this film, and you're going to see and feel it. And I think it's going to be awesome. And I think it'll almost be like, it'll be if you imagine Patina style Alan Maxson storytelling meets The Thing mixed with Enemy Mine. That's how I would describe it, really. And so I'm very excited. So if any of this stuff gets anyone who's listening excited, then I hope you guys will buy into it. And what I'm going to do for the fundraising, I don't know when it's going to launch, but I'll definitely reach back out to you so we can help promote it. But it will be on there. I will absolutely have a reasonable perk for crowdfunding, where it'll be like $30 or $40. I'm probably keeping the 30 range, because that's more reasonable for you to actually get the movie on DVD, because yes, that's an expensive DVD to buy, but it's not too expensive to have a DVD of something that won't get made if you don't donate that.
Right.
So it's one of those things where I'm hoping, there'll be enough people that can help out and do it. Truly, if I do put that at $30, if I only have 1,000 people donate and buy that DVD, the movie can get made. And that's not a lot of people. So hopefully that I can get at least 1,000 people interested enough. And I know you have a very wide range audience on your channel. So if you're younger and you're not familiar with a lot of those movies and stuff that I named, please Google search them, because they are awesome movies. They're some of my favorite, like Enemy Mine and Alien Nation and V, the miniseries. Man, those are my favorite from since I was a kid. And they're such cautionary tales. Like Enemy Mine has Dennis Quaid in it, and he's trapped on a planet with another alien, and they hate each other's guts, and they have to learn to get along. But then this alien is like asexual, and he gives birth to his son, and he dies, and Dennis Quaid has to raise his son. Like, it's crazy stuff. Yeah, it's insane. And like V is such a cool story. It's like social commentary on basically Nazis and Jews, and it just makes such valid points on humanity and helping each other and not allowing that type of power to rise, which it has in history. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy stuff to think about, and it's cool to watch it with a twist of sci-fi mixed in.
Yeah, that's the thing that's so great about sci-fi is you can tell the stories that
are hard to hear.
You can tell stories that you wouldn't really be allowed to or able to tell in a way that people are comfortable with.
Yes.
Through sci-fi. I mean, that's what we're all here for on this channel. That's like Godzilla.
Yes.
That's why he exists.
Yes.
It's telling a story that was too uncomfortable to tell at that time.
Godzilla is one of the most famous ones of telling social story.
Right. Yeah, that's just my take. That's why it's the best genre, in my opinion.
I absolutely am with you. But yeah, that's my plan, and I think it'll be super cool if I can get that going, because I really think it'll be a movie to wow everybody. Just like I think people are gonna with Patina. Patina's already got accepted into 3 film festivals, and I anticipate it'll be in many more. So.
Yeah, that was something else I was going to ask you about. Is I did see that it was getting premiered at a film festival, so I was going to ask you what that's like, if it has happened, if there has been any screenings, or what's going on with that.
So far, it had its first screening in Las Vegas. It screened at a festival called the Silver State Film Festival, and it did really well. I hear that people enjoyed it a lot. And then it got accepted into 2 film festivals in Michigan that will air October 11th and 12th. Search on my sites or on Patina's social medias, and you'll see links for it all. These ones are going to be fun, because the one in Bay City, that's where I grew up. I was born and raised there. And so that one's going to be fun, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of family and friends that I grew up with going to watch it.
Yeah.
And one of the producers on the film is a very, very close friend of mine who he built a lot of the props for the movie. And he helped fund some of the prosthetics for Patina, because that makeup on Patina was very expensive. And if you see it, you'll know why.
It looks great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful work. But it cost a crap ton. I'm going to watch my language.
Whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So I got to do a rabbit trail here for a minute. The first video I did with you was amazing. And I was just having so much fun talking to you. Like, you're so down to earth. You're so awesome. You and I click. I feel like we're the type of dudes that if we lived together, we'd be friends.
Right.
Or lived near each other, we'd be friends. If we lived together, I guess if we lived together, we would be friends, huh?
Yeah, we'd have to be. You'd hope.
But exactly. Man, I hate my roommate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like we really clicked and bond, so we were just like chatting away. But I just kept dropping F-bombs, and there is an age difference. I'm 35, and you are undisclosed number.
Right.
I don't know if the public knows. But I didn't realize that there was a big age difference. And even though I did, I kind of know, I remember the ages I've been so far.
Right.
And I know that F-bombs happen a lot at a lot younger ages.
Right.
And so I wasn't too concerned about it. But
I still wouldn't be.
But boy, did I get scolded on the comments on that video. Man, I feel like it felt like every other one was, does this guy know he's talking to a kid?
I'm not that young. I don't know why people talk about me like I'm a 12-year-old. I'm not.
That's what I thought too. I was like, well, he's not really a kid.
I'm an adult.
Yes. That's why I was shocked too, but still, people were scolding me. I think it was less about you and more about your audience. I feel like a lot of your audience is probably younger.
Please. Well, okay. My primary demographic is I think it's somewhere like 15 to 22-year-olds. So
what are
that's
they all mad about then?
Well, because the thing is, even the little kids, even your 7 and 8-year-olds, they have YouTube. You want to go find a safe gaming channel on YouTube? Good luck. For real.
Yep.
Are you serious?
And at 15, everybody's swearing.
Exactly.
But yes, I thought the same thing. When I first read that comment, I was like, Derek's not a kid. He's a full-grown adult. But I got scolded, and I read at least a handful of comments telling me that I need to watch my language. So I am sorry, everybody that listened, and I'm going to watch my language today.
Oh, God.
It was funny to read that, though. And then the other guys, Richard and Jason, they gave me a good hard time, too, about that when I told them. They're like, what are you doing swearing like that?
Well, Jason is really clean when he's very family friendly when we did ours.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he was very, very, very safe.
I guess that's the Michigan in me. I'm all like, give me that black and mild and some whiskey. I'll sip and tell you a story.
Oh God, I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm not, but it's funny. I don't even remember where we were, but
I think we were talking about. Okay, so walk me through the design process for Patina.
Oh yeah, so we were talking about Patina. He was pricey to bring to life.
I'd imagine.
Just him alone was, I don't know, $1,500 or $1,600 just to make him look the way he did. And so my producer, he's part of the reason why I could even afford it. He helped fund a lot of that. And so he lives in Michigan, in Bay City, and he's going to be there representing. I'm very excited for that film fest because he will get to see it on the big screen. His hard-earned money being thrown onto that screen. But what went into that? A number of people were involved. First it started with, there's a company called RBFX, and you will know them from Walking Dead, zombie pieces. Greg Nicotero, I believe, either started it or has something to do with the company. And they make beautiful pieces. If you go to rbfxstudios.com, you can buy prosthetics pre-made.
Nice.
And normally, a lot of the prosthetics I wear for creature suits are custom. They're sculpted on a life cast of my face, so it fits perfect. The bonus with RBFX is you cut the cost of that. But the negative is it's not custom fit. But usually it's pretty generic enough that it fits on the average person who's going to normally be cast for a creature. So there's a very talented guy named John Wrightson, and he sculpted that particular one. And then there's a makeup artist named Hannah Reed, who I worked with on a film called The Woods. And she's talented and fun and easy to work with. And she had her assistant, Jillian. And so those two got that prosthetic from John in RBFX. And because it was such a tight turn, we filmed Patina in one day. And I play Patina. And since I'm in almost the entire movie, plus I'm directing it, there's not a lot of time for me to be away from set. So I had to get into makeup quite fast, faster than that makeup would allow. So what we had to do was we had to hire a second person. That's why she brought her assistant. And then she also had to pre-paint it. So she was kind enough to pre-paint the prosthetic to a point the day before we shot. Then on the day of, I gave her a deadline. I said, I got to be on set at noon. You have to have me done by then. Mm-hmm. And her and Jillian just worked extremely fast and hard, and they're so talented that they made the deadline and they made it comfortably. And what I did was basically I had all my storyboards and my shot list, and everything that you could shoot with me not in the shot, I had rehearsed the day before with the actors, my director of photography, and my assistant director. Mm-hmm. And basically I directed them all during the rehearsal and told them what I wanted. So during those 3 or 4 hours, whatever it was, when I got turned into the makeup, they were being the extension of my arm. And that's the job of the assistant director, is to be an extension of me.
Right.
And so during that time, he knew exactly what I wanted. And the actors knew exactly what I wanted. And the director of photography knew exactly what shots I wanted because I had storyboards. And so thankfully, all 4 of them are fan-bleeping censored-tastic. Yeah. Because they got everything so perfect that once I came on set, it cut so perfectly together with it that you would think that I was there with them during it.
Right.
And it's just a testament to the skill of all of them. So it's like, I got to give a shout out to them. Colin Kelly, the DP, Kyle Macias, the AD, Annabelle Barrett, who plays Alexa, and Matt Kelly, who plays John. All of them are so talented. And honestly, like, I think it pays off. I want to go into those two as well. Like, it's so fun watching Alexa and John in that movie because they're so drastically different, but it's so perfect. Like, Alexa, and I'll be curious if you agree or if you thought this at all, but Alexa's so intense. She's the tension in that movie. You watch her and you're just like, fudge, I'm gonna explode at any moment. But then when Matt is there, he's almost the audience. He's a little like lighthearted, and he brings a little bit of, like, I wouldn't say laughter, but he brings lightheartedness to it. And you're just like, oh, he almost like he lets you breathe for a moment before Alexa makes you hold your breath again.
Right.
And so I think they were such a perfect team. And it also makes me feel bad for them if they were a real couple, because I feel like he's so intense and he's so like
easygoing, kind of fun.
Easygoing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, if this were a real couple, she'd be walking
yes.
all over.
Yeah.
That poor guy is abused.
I just like how he's so excited by it, you know, he's like, well, come on, just give it a task so I can play with it. He's like all excited.
Yeah, he wants to he uses the word play.
Yes,
with it,
yeah.
You know? It's a toy for
exactly.
him. And this was almost something that, like, I kind of had in there as almost a story point. That's almost a character of me, is I'm a huge action figure collector. And I have way more action figures than I can even fit. I'd say 75% of them are boxed up in the closet because I don't have space. And that's almost like this. Like, this guy, John, bought a 6-foot-tall action figure, and he has nowhere to put it but in the middle of the damn living room.
Right.
Right where it's going to watch his girlfriend cook, clean, shower. Like, she does everything, and he's just watching. And it's like, oh... It's so creepy, and I can see why she's so upset about it. I mean,
right.
Thing's not friendly looking.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And one of my favorite moments is when the character John, when he first opens the box, you hear it opening off camera. She comes into the room and she's like, "What's that?" And he's so happy.
I know.
It's a robot.
He's so happy the whole time. You feel bad for him. You're like, oh.
No, that's what's so good. You know, it's interesting because the actor Matt who played it, he's so talented. And I've actually had Matt direct me many times for like auditions that I submit for things that I'm up for. And he's such a good actor that I don't think he realized what fantastic emotion he brought to it. Because without that vibe, that movie, I think, would be too heavy.
Yeah. I would agree.
And he just brought such a perfect release. And he comes and goes away for a little bit. So, like, it plays with your emotions because he's not always there to release it, you know? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you see the twist coming at the end?
I called it right as it was happening. I turned to my...
Perfect.
I turned to my brother and I was like, oh, God!
Awesome. That's perfect. You know, that's what I wanted. I wanted people to realize it the moment it's happening, because if you realize it too early, it ruins it. But if you realize it the moment it's happening, it's no longer a shocker, and it becomes excitement. And just like you said, you turn to him and you're like, ah!
Yeah.
And it wasn't like you're frightened. It was like you're excited to start to happen.
That's why I was saying at the beginning, I'm like so twisted the whole time. Once we get to the twist, I'm like there with my brother. I'm like, oh, it's going down. You know?
Yes. My other friend said it too. I have a friend who is he's a very talented editor in Los Angeles, and so he's very good at storytelling because he has to edit. Right. And he told me that he thought it was so well put together that he said the same thing you did, but instead of going, oh, here it is, he said he started fist pumping the air and screaming, yes!
Isn't that just like, that's how messed up we are? We're just like root for the for the bad guys.
And you know, I think Patina, he is a bad guy, but also in a way not, because he's only doing what he's told.
I was gonna say, is it his fault? That's a question you could ask.
He's just doing what he was asked, you know? Did you notice in the background of the credits at all?
You'll have to remind me.
So in the background, if you watch it, it shows the history of the Patina Robotics Company.
Yeah, yes.
And I can't say too much because I guess it'll give it away, but that is all footage shot by my producer friend in Michigan, who he hand built all those broken robot parts.
Nice.
And the big sign and everything. He hand built all of that. So it's very neat. It's almost like a new story within itself if you pay attention underneath the credits during the movie.
I might have to go back and rewatch it. It's been like, it might have been like a full month since I've seen it, so.
Yeah, I sent it to you a while ago.
Yeah, I may have to go back and rewatch that. I do know what you're talking about. I do remember that now that you mention it, but I don't remember particularly what that full backstory is. It's kind of like those King of the Monsters credits. You got us twice in the same year, Alan. Those King of the Monsters end credits that you have to frame by frame to be able to tell what they're saying.
They're good though. They're
yeah,
fun.
they are.
It's cool because it keeps it going for a long time. If it were easy to watch, you'd only have to watch it once. But because there's so much and so fast and so hidden, how many times have you watched it now?
Me and my brother only watched it the one time.
No. King of the Monsters.
Oh, King of the Monsters. Too many times. I saw it in theaters 8 times. I bought it on digital and watched it like 3 or 4 times, and then now I own the Blu-ray. Right before you and I started recording this, I was watching the commentary with Mike Doherty, Zach Shields, and O'Shea. So
nice.
Yeah. And that's where the video ends, fellas. Thank you guys all for sticking around through this one. I know this podcast format's not something I usually do on the channel. I'm sorry if it wasn't quite your thing, but I don't know. I did the same thing for the Jason Lyles interview, and you guys seem to love that one. So I just did it again. I cut the video here because the entire rest of it we talk about Godzilla, so I figured I'd split it for the G-fans out there so that G-fans can get the Godzilla stuff. But for those of you who are interested, you can check out this Patina-specific podcast, and I really appreciate anyone who checked this one out. I've got all of Alan's social medias listed down below, as well as Patina. Please go check it out. It's worth renting and buying, so definitely do so. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be the more Godzilla specific stuff. B-Man out.